Greetings from Planet Oz, friends. I'm Oz, and I got a little sun earlier today, and then I turned on this camera and I pointed it at myself, and wow, I am red. So anyway, do not adjust your televisions. It is not you. I am the problem. So anyway, this is going to be a short one. What is a soul family? This is an interesting question. What is a soul family? Well, the main thing that is interesting to think about, if you're pondering about your soul family and wondering who they are, what they're all about, where you came from, and all of that. The most interesting place to start with thinking about this is that there are no biological relationships as we know them here. So that would mean, for example, your mother, your father, your brothers and sisters and cousins, and all of those familial biological relationships, those don't exist on the other side. This is intuitive in a sense. I mean, we don't have a body anymore. At that point, you are consciousness, and all of your individuation is still there. But this biology and this physicality is not. So neither are those relationships, at least in that way. So some people might look at this and say, well, then who are they? Then, who are my parents? Well, so your soul family, to define it most simply, it is a group of souls that travel together, spend a lot of time together. They're close, they interact, they engage, they plan, they dream. But the main thing is that the individuals within the family, the individuated consciousnesses within the family, view themselves as members of that family. So it's kind of as simple as that. If you view yourself, if this group of souls means that much to you, that you view them as family, then that's your soul family. And maybe it's not a soul family, maybe you're a member of multiple soul families. I mean, eternity is a lot of time. So you have a lot of time to get to know a lot of people and have a lot of different experiences. So to me, it seems intuitive that we would have multiple soul families. But a question people often consider in this is, but what about now that we're here? Who are our biological relatives in relation to how that relates with the soul family? How does that port over? This is a really common question. So what do the esoteric teachings tell us about this? Well, the first thing is that this is an infinite creation. So is it possible that you don't know your parents on the other side of this? That you have no soul relationship? You came here randomly, they accepted a random? Is that even possible, that I wouldn't actually be soul family with the family that I have here? Well, yeah, it's possible. It's like it would be, but it would be willful. It would be willful for you and willful for them that this be a surprise, I guess you could say. For example, like when I went to, when I was in college, when I first went to the university, I intentionally made the decision to go into the dorm situation blind, as they say, which, it's probably know this, but basically that's like, I'm not coming in with a roommate. And there were people from my high school that were going to my university. I could have worked that out and tried to room with somebody, but to me it was a new experience and I was interested in making it kind of as new as possible. So I thought, well, I'm going to go blind and see how this works. So you could do that. You could incarnate that way from a soul level and do it. It could be that it could be as ridiculous as two friends who are like, I'm talking about when you're on the other side. These two friends are getting together, they're having a few drinks or whatever one does to imbibe, and then it's like, hey, why don't you be the dad and I'll be the son? Oh wait, no, you be the mom, I'll be the daughter. Let's do this. And so, it sounds crazy. When you think about 100 years here, you think, really, two friends kind of drinking, hanging out on a lark, are just going to go incarnate and be biological family here and do a run down here. Well, I know it sounds strange. I mean, it sounds strange to me too, but when you're looking at it through the lens of eternity, eternity is a very long time, and with enough experience and perception and knowledge of what eternity is and where you're at, 100-year incarnation might not seem any different to you than an afternoon where, so it's like you're hanging out with a friend. It's like road trip, and you go on a road trip for a few hours or whatever, something like that. Yeah, I know. Weird. All of this, 100 years as a road trip with a friend? Yeah. But let's just talk for a moment about what the texts say is most common. And the most common is the intuitive is the intuitive model as we would imagine it, in the sense that the family that you have here comes from the family that you are a part of over there. That, if you're thinking about, well, families, one thing families do is they travel together and they adventure together and stuff like that. So yeah, not unlike Chevy Chase's vacation, you might have just all decided as a family, let's go to Earth and do an incarnation. So family, yes. But not the same, not the biological context. And this is intuitive also. It would be presumably common, and seems to be that the case would be that you would meet, that you would probably have, even though it's not a biological relationship between members of this family, but in dynamics of any group, if you're a part of any group for any length of time, the relationships you have within that group start to fall in and gravitate into these dynamics where, with someone in the group, you might have a mentor type parent-child relationship and dynamic. With another, it might be more friendly and jokes. With another one, it might be that they're the one you're worried about. So now you're acting kind of like the parent and trying to shepherd that one while they try and keep them from getting into trouble. So yes. Most intuitively, we would imagine that, and if there is to be a most common scenario, it would, there are certainly accounts of this, and they seem to be common. So it's probably pretty common that people end up in kind of a dynamic between two souls that matches something that would work for an incarnation, and they say, you be my parent, I'll be the child, or I'll be the parent, you be the child. That's kind of how our dynamic is going anyway. Because keep in mind, you're evolving your soul over on the other side very slowly, and you're evolving it here very quickly. So it would make sense that groups would get together and say, this is going to be a quick one, but this is going to kind of be wild. This Earth place that we're going to, crazy things go down there. You don't know what's going to happen. It's a wild place, but we're going to go check it out. You coming? So we would think most intuitively, wouldn't you want the dynamics that you have over there to port over here? Doesn't that seem the most smooth, especially when you're going to be incarnating in a crazy place where you're going to want your support group around you and you're going to want to travel together, unless you're just going for it. If you just said, I'm going there by myself, I don't care, then wow. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm one of those people. We don't really know. But anyway, so there you go. In a nutshell, what is the soul family? That is an esoteric perspective on it. And that's it from Planet Oz. Godspeed.